Well, hey there, everybody. How's it going? It's Saturday. It's February 26th, 2022, and there are a lot of sports games today. A lot going on in the world. But just super briefly, we're gonna do hockey, we're going to do NBA, and we're going to do, and there's some interesting NBA talk also. And there's 143 college basketball games. We're going to start with hockey, and I mean, talk about news that everybody I know mentioned to me when I saw them at different points throughout the day. They're like, yeah, Ovechkin had to issue a statement about what's going on because he's such good friends with Putin that he has to issue a statement about, basically Putin ordering an invasion of Ukraine against everybody else, against everybody else's advice and thoughts about humanity. So, it's an issue, and even Ovechkin said, we all need a world with no war or whatever. Whatever his broken English came out and said. It was not Samsonov, it was Ovechkin, but it was, he said no war. So, all I'm going to say about it, because I have a lot to say about it that I'll say in a different venue, a different platform. But when one person causes that much death and destruction and upheaval in the world, I think it's clear that the world should do something about that one person, right? I mean, it could have happened here. We could have had that happen in the United States, and we voted that out, and we didn't allow that to bomb another country in the wailing days of his administration. So all I can say is I think the world, Putin has decided that he can no longer stay in power acting like this. I think that's what we can say about that. How that is going to work itself out, I have no idea. But it's clear that this can't stand. So, that being said, hockey. We had a good day yesterday. Another reason Putin probably went in, his freaking hockey team lost the gold medal. I mean, when you blow a game like that and your goalie won't even put on a silver medal, you're going to go freaking invade another country. You're pissed off. All right, anyway, yesterday was a good day. A lot of wins. The only thing that really lost was Vegas, Arizona, but everything else was pretty good and a lot of things covered. Today. Interesting, I saw a number one pick down here, Calgary over Minnesota, because Calgary is just playing great hockey, and Minnesota not as much lately. So that's an interesting pick for the number one pick of the day. Then Colorado and Vegas. Okay, Colorado again comes back against Winnipeg down 3-0 yesterday, and then comes back and wins and covers. I mean, what power out of Colorado. We got expected goalies down here, so you don't really know. As for the Washington game, I think it was 5-3 last time. It's predicting 5-3 again. Thinks the Caps want to score some goals. Caps coming off an ugly loss to the Rangers. And then we've got this Florida. If Bobrovsky, who's confirmed, goes, then we'll see what happens with Edmonton, but it really likes Florida only at minus 200 there. All right, let's talk about NBA. Three some minutes in. NBA. So I did some work on NBA, even though we didn't do the big programming work that I'm trying to raise money and people who want to have the real extensive work done to do an algorithm to program these percentages. But I just did it manually and started messing around with them, and I added them right here. So what happens now is you can kind of go back. I'll open it up. But this is today's look, first of all. I haven't really looked over it too much. But what I did is kind of interesting here. You got two underdogs down here, and this underdog is healthier. Memphis is healthier than the Bulls, and Toronto's healthier than Atlanta, especially. So that's kind of interesting down here. Be careful here with a 66%. Be careful here with an 85. Be careful with an 81 even. All these teams, everybody's like somewhat hurting. I got to really dig through the injury report and also the player stats to figure out maybe we're including players that just don't play anymore and aren't on the right team even. There's a lot of work that can still be done in here. But what I wanted to say about something else before we get into 143 college basketball games. So you can go to like yesterday and you can start messing around with these percentages. It's really interesting, right? So this is the one I'm working with now. Just paste it down here for a second. But you can change and be like, all right, well, for example, something like field goal percentage you make that 100%. It actually had a decent day. Yeah, some stuff at the top lost or whatever, but you can start messing around with different percentages and figure out what you really want to do and what it did in previous days by just refreshing this. And you start to get different looks, and you can do all kinds of different days because it's all connected now. So you can get a total win-loss look at different percentages, even all the way back to the beginning of time. So 338 and 174 at this percentage. You know, what if we just use win percentage as our guide? What does that get us? 334, you know? So, you know, is there any really cool category that does better alone? 335. I mean, it's so interesting, right? I mean, it's just crazy. But this was all right for one day right here. And this is why I want to write a macro code to test all the relevant amounts, and then we can actually get a true best optimal percentage out of this with all the stats that we have. That's what I'm trying to do here. All right. Anyway, go back here. What does this do? 338. Yeah. See, that is better. All right. So back to today. So you get a different look every time in terms of the margin when you mess around with these percentages over here. It's truly awesome stuff and powerful stuff. So that's NBA. You can copy this for like $50 if you want to start buying these for the day and then messing around with them, so that you can play with them and make them better on your own. Oh, God, get out of the way. Because you know, you can have a version of these things that works a whole lot better than the one that you see in the video that I do, because you spend more time with it and you get a better percentage distribution. Maybe you mess around with the player stats and you get a better distribution of what a quality player is, so that their B score right here is more accurate. Right now, the B score with the best player or the highest ranked player we have in the league is LeBron. And then this guy here that my son says has the longest name from Milwaukee, it looks like Antelope Conamumpo. Nice. Anyway, so that's NBA. Let's go to college basketball in the last 3 minutes. Like I said, only 143 games. Only 143 games. Well, let's look. Are there any home underdogs? There's one. It's Cornell against Yale. All right. Almost non-existent margin, but both teams are supposedly healthy. So Cornell plus 3.5 should be a pretty solid pick at home. There you go. How about other underdogs? There are 23 of them. Now, so you see here, FIU has a bad strength of schedule calculation, meaning they play worse teams than Old Dominion does. Thinks they beat them on the road, though. But you can get 7.5 points with them. So that's I don't know. Strength of schedule is bad, though, so that can kind of be distorted. But it's still that's pretty good. Youngstown State, terrible strength of schedule, in Northern Kentucky too. So this is tough because these strength schedules are awful. Anything else interesting? So you want a green number here, and you want a high margin. So Wisconsin or Rutgers, 96% health, but they have a 12%. It's still not these margins are not that high, actually. Texas A&M against a hurting Mississippi. Okay, that's probably good. Don't take Kentucky because they're at 76%, but they're a very good team against Arkansas, so that's scary. Get some weak healths for Tennessee and Stephen F. Austin and Northeastern. Here you go, Elon at plus 170 or plus a 4.5. That's good. Get a minute left. How about our home teams? There are 73. I know there's only that one underdog of Cornell somewhere, right down at the bottom. But other decent lines, and then you want weak opponent health percentages. These spreads are all disgusting. Don't like messing with anything like that. It's just too much. I feel like those are unbettable games. That's how the odds makers make them unbettable, is by giving them, awful payouts or terrible lines. Here you go, Maryland Eastern Shore against a hurting Coppin State at home, right? All these teams are at home. What else? Still, you don't have good strength of schedules. I got 18 seconds left. Here, Bradley at Valpo, but it's minus 588. Providence at home against Creighton, hurting. Careful here with Loyola hurting against Pacific. Here's a Florida State team that's still out of people. Virginia, a bad line. We're past 10 minutes. As you can see, so many games, so much to do. If you're interested, go to kenbraverman.com and purchase a copy of this. All kinds of stuff coming out. So good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.